Prologue. Ben looked up and saw a mountain glen, beautiful yet remote with dark ridges to both sides and a waterfall like a grey mare's tail gently swaying in the wind. Wooden dark fingers stretched over this section of the gorge, from both sides and all around. This segment of the glen was steeper than the hidden valley just above that was devoid of trees. There was a strange glow coming from behind the raging waters. A dark eagle piped and whistled overhead, surveying the valley for unfortunate prey. The waterfall or a figure behind called to Ben, "You will find your answers here. Come to my secret place, beneath the living waters of this land amongst the fairies and the Kelpies." Ben, it's time to get up. Chapter 1, To Trick the Devil. Your training course starts tomorrow, Ben, called his mum. Be at the Hilton Hotel in North Queensferry by 9 a.m. Ben had decided that studying at university was not for him and had signed up for a recruiting course over the summer for the Army cadets. He was a bright lad, but he could not see himself sitting in an office every day. Now 13, he had decided that he would explore the option of joining the Army. He was due to join the cadets at Glencoe after having signed up at one of their open days. Ben's Uncle Bill called, but no response. Ben's mind was mulling on thoughts of adventure. Tomorrow he would attempt the winter scramble over the mountain. His prize being the highest mountain of the old county of Argyll. Well, it was really a collection of mountains, ridges, crags and summits sat in the beautiful Glencoe area of Scotland. The summits were often called the Three Sisters, remembering the perceived Campbell deceit and the guardians of the treacherous glen. Ben looked on the view of the white sails of the Forth Road Bridge and its bow-like platform stretching forth, music playing in the background and the chime of diners' plates and glasses playing a melody of their own. The traffic scurrying like line of ants carrying their supplies back to the nest. Bill was an avid climber, was going to take him on an adventure of a lifetime tomorrow. Ben saw Bill talking to a man with ID and he seemed to be asking him to leave, but the man looked insistent. Ben directed him to sit whilst he made a phone call. Ben's mind was drawn to a memory that he did not know its source. It was of a man in a kilt speaking in a Gaelic tongue. Somehow the words came to his mind in English. Remember that to trick a devil, you must be like God. Do you remember your Aunt Jenny who used to tell you about that wonderful place in the glen called the Hidden Valley? The story goes that the fairies used to pretend that they were an injured deer to get the people to choose freely to drink an elixir. Remember this, it may prove useful one day, Archie. Chapter 2, Still Together but Forever Alone. Ben turned to his tablet, he googled and found the tale of the Three Sisters. He read and pondered on the poem that he had found. Dark peaks framed in a moody veil gave birth to the morning. Dainty bonny feet sat in bubbles of the flowing burn. Forbidden names written on the curtains of their hearts. Spring had not yet started. Snow still peaking these majestic peaks. Cattle watch was a daily chore. But the king's men, they came at night. And they shown Highland hospitality, drinking, eating, and sleeping. In the black houses of the glen. These houses soon became darker still. For in the morn, they were stained by the blood of men. And daughters sweet, waiting for their love, to meet. Steps through the snow, trying to escape. This meaningless power struggle. Enthroned in the glen, on each peak. Waiting for justice. For blood to cry from the ground. Waiting to be found. But frozen in the landscape. More beautiful than Dunedin. Or the green hollow. Waiting for the gods of Scotland's past. To deliver them. Ben loved this writing as it reflected his own feelings on betrayal and injustice. Although there were many versions of the tale, and the extent to which the Campbells actually played was a matter for debate, yet their name was still written in history and language and attached to betrayal. He had decided to go and meet these ancient sentinels embodied in stone, but for now his attention was turned to a mysterious figure who was seated at the other side of the restaurant. The man had lowered his head yet kept up his gaze. On seeing this, the suited man with crisp lines walked straight towards Ben and placed a large white envelope on the table with the words, "My apologies, my name is Tom Fletcher. You are Ben McDowell, real name Archie MacDonald?" Chapter 3, Archie. What do you mean real name? Ben replied. This is a letter stating your real name and a copy of your paternal family tree. It outlines your lineage from Alistair Rood Macklay MacDonald, the clan leader who was slain by the Campbells. Ben now Archie felt uncomfortable. Had he been watching him? This is too weird, he said. I was just reading about that. My father is Justin McDowell. My mother is Janet Martin. I'm sorry to tell you this, look at the papers, but you were adopted, and the details were not disclosed to you. There was a need for you to be kept safe and for no one to know, so your father had done, so I realize that this is a bit of a shock. Please read the letter, my contact details are on the card. I must go, I'm sorry. Wait, Ben stammered, I don't understand. The man gave his apologies again and left in a hurry without further explanation. Ben, now Archie, had no time to lose. His trip tomorrow was ill-prepared for and a treacherous one. But he couldn't stop looking at the letter and the note. He kept searching for the meaning and context of this event. Chapter 4, Equipped. He looked at the note attached to the letter and read, My dear son, it was necessary to hide my identity. My name is Alexander MacDonald, and I am the current clan lord. The old magic of the Glen has called to you. At the peak of the mountain, you will find what is rightfully yours. You must reach it whilst you are able to make the journey as a boy, as only the blood of the current clan leader can release what your heart is looking for. Archie. After that note he had adopted the name as. It seemed as though it had called to him from the grave. Despite having been given a tale never before heard in his lifetime, somehow his heart believed, and his mind followed. The timing. How had Tom, the mysterious figure, known he was going to the Three Sisters tomorrow? Had he been watching him, and for how long? Archie realized he had much to do. He had grown up on a small farm amongst the hills but not in the mountains. He had done many of the tourists' Munros and a few crazy challenges with his uncle. But this was a new challenge, something that would see him with the future challenges of his life. Where exactly was this prize? And how could he find it? He puzzled. At the bottom of the letter, he read, At the peak of the mountains call upon the old gods and do not be deceived, and the prize will be yours. Love, Alex MacDonald. After reading the letter, Archie needed some air. He took a walk across the old Forth Road Bridge, viewing the red rail bridge to the left and the sailed new road bridge to the right. As he looked at the water, he thought he saw a snake-like ripple in the waves of the Forth, but he blinked and it disappeared, and he was content that this stretch of the river contained many currents and waste carried by the river to the sea, so he thought nothing more of it. Archie again realized the urgency. To prepare, his day off had been fun, but tomorrow he had a purpose, a real quest. He thought of all the dreams he had had of adventure and fantasy and wondered at how he had actually stumbled across a real treasure hunt. Was this a joke? Would he actually find something? Bill, let's go to the climbing shop in the shadow of the Pentland Hills. He and Bill had tried to climb the Three Sisters in the past, but they had played it safe after they had started too late. He had an idea of the climb and the conditions from his little Wrekin trip up the hidden valley. This time he would see it happen. So, he equipped himself with crampons, ice axe, and a map. Into the unknown environment he entered, and the store assistant approached and inquired if there was anything he could do. Bill explained his failed attempt at the Three Sisters and his need for the right equipment. He did not fancy spending £300 on boots and crampons, so he went for an all-fitting ice version and a standard-size ice axe and a small map of Glencoe. The assistant gave a little concerned reply with his voice saying, "When are you doing that? Are you sure the conditions are right?" "I think the gods would be cruel to take another MacDonald," I replied, but then he replied, "Is that not what they are famous for?" Bill loved the shop, he wanted to buy everything, but his recent divorce had put a drain on his finances. So, he resisted the urge. Archie thought, my uncle's ex-wife will not be happy to learn she missed being related to a laird. So close to that Swedish furniture store, Ben. Now Archie couldn't resist a stop at IKEA for some meatballs and jam, something he had become accustomed to and something he enjoyed with his uncle, well, who he thought was his uncle, when he lived near IKEA as a young lad. So equipped and overflowing with the bounties of his favorite store, Archie headed to Perth to rest for the journey tomorrow. Chapter 5, Mirror on the Wall. Tomorrow did not go as planned. Bill's ex-wife Nevaeh had not been honest and had sent the boys to the house last week with a sickness bug. Archie decided to play it safe and not to try the ridges. He was also mindful of the high winds and did not want to be compared to a kite on the top of Glencoe. They had decided to stay at Perth. He picked up his spirits and as he walked along the River Tay. The sun was baking down, and the air was crisp with the cold. The tay reminded him of the rapidly unfolding deep mystery that was before him, and the willow on the other side of the river in front of a historic Perth dwelling reminded him of the sorrows of the girl's tale. Such lovely homes and gardens warmed his heart. Through the natural scenes he saw which he now knew were in his blood. Filled with the spirit of magic of the glen, what would the day bring? He thought, who would he meet? And would he find more to his tale? After eating a meal with his uncle, which he enjoyed but could not seem to share his tale, he viewed a grey heron along the banks of the river. Interested in nature, Archie took the turn and went over the river on a stone bridge, with massive boulders in the middle which led the way. He turned to the right towards Lunkerty, and he turned his attention back to the river and returned back to the city of Perth. After his walk, Archie's feet throbbed from the wearing on his heel. In pain from the long walk, his Uncle Bill offered him some painkillers. Bill and Archie headed back to the hotel room. Bill looked into the black ebony-framed mirror. Its line caressing the ridges, its flowing tides moving towards the shimmering reflection of his worn countenance. Then he retired to his separate room. 5 years ago, Bill's wife Nevaeh had declared that they were no longer in love. Bill was tired of the situation, but his mum and dad had always taught him to uphold marriage, so he clung on to a burning rope until his hands were so scorched that he could not hold on to another rope or barely look on it again. Being near her brought out the worst of feelings that Bill could not get rid of. Today Archie lay in his bed and as if in a fugue. He drifted out of consciousness and back in again. He looked at the mirror and it was a surreal experience. It was as if the mirror spoke to him and reality dawned for a minute. Perhaps there was something he had to learn, but in that brief moment he aligned himself with God or whoever was in charge right now. It fueled his wanderlust, but tonight in the quiet room he thought of his real father, mother, and kin, and the mirror spoke to him again, rippling and in a broad Scots dialect. It is a relic you seek. A relic? What was this? A tomb raiding? Archie was unsure if he had taken too many painkillers or if he was communing with the gods of Scotland's past. Chapter 6, Waiting for the Troll. What relic could lie and survive in such a remote and unforgiving location? Tomorrow came and Archie rolled out of bed. He jumbled his supplies into his rucksack, dropped off his key with Bill and walked down the old steps leading to Bill's car. He loaded his bag into Bertha, Bill's trusty steed, ready for the 2.5-hour drive. He did not invite anyone else. He feared the events that would unfold, but also what someone might think if he told them the story of the last couple of days. Bill, tell me about my younger childhood. I do not remember it very well. What was I like? Where did I live and what were my parents like when they were younger? That is some exceptionally good questions. I think they might be answered on this trip. I have a funny feeling about that. You were always interested in adventure, trying to figure out how things worked, and I remember a time that you sat on a bridge for an entire day so that you could confront the troll you were convinced lived underneath. You always seemed to be in a world of your own. Do you remember the time that you fell from the rock climb and somehow the rope wrapped around your leg and protected you from an awful injury? It looked like the rope had a mind of its own. You have always been looked over and had your fair share of challenges. Your parents were kind and loving. Justin and Janet always served so well. You could not have asked for better carers. Bill said. Carers? Said Archie. I just mean they looked after you well, Bill quickly corrected. The drive was long but filled with beautiful sights. Glencoe, just northwest of the Trossachs region and just south of the town Fort William, was arrived at via the A85 and the A82, passing Loch Tulla and Loch Enechaclays, a ghostly but beautiful freshwater loch on Ranch Moor which becomes frozen solid during winter's cruel grasp. Funnily, the name meaning small loch at the armpit does not really capture its beauty. The drive then enters the glen which was bounded by the Great Shepherd, the Bushai Etive Moor, often shown on picture postcards, and the Little Shepherd, opposing Stob McMarchuin with other mountains all around. Eventually the valley leads to the Three Sisters, where Archie found a parking spot, having left early. He felt inspired by the mountains in this area, but the valley was no longer bleak as development had entered the valley in a form of a hotel. He stepped out of the car, breathed in the mountain air and began the walk along the path that led to the mountain. There were few tourists today for some reason. The weather forecast had been a little risky for some but had changed just in time for Archie to brave the climb. He thought of his mother and of his friends, how they would have loved this sight and the view from Bidean Nam Bien, the highest peak. He felt a rush of energy as he viewed the peaks, as though the valley was magical, as though the gods sat on the mountains as armchairs and viewed the surrounding peaks. 3 volcanic peaks faced the road, forming 2 valleys between the tops, the one on the left being called the Hidden Valley and the one on the right being a much steeper climb. The peak Bidean Nam Bian, meaning peak of the mountains, was the target for Archie and lay behind and perpendicular to the front 3 peaks, Gir Anonic Dub and Stobquar Nan Locan. Bill commenced up the valley to the right, avoiding the Hidden Valley where Clan MacDonald had hidden their theft and livestock, and he started to climb substantially. He heard the cry of a bird of prey he recognized from a nature program as being a golden eagle native to these parts. "Shouldn't we take the Hidden Valley?" Archie said. "No, it's best to take the right path for now," said Bill. "We can take the other path back down." Archie and Bill passed some slower tourists. One of them looked at them both with a suspicious eye. This confused Archie, but he put it down to a difficult day. The other smiled and stopped to chat with Bill for a moment. Her name was Susan, and she was here with her boyfriend. She described the climb as epic and asked Bill to join them on the walk up. He chatted for a little while with Susan. She talked about how she was unhappy and feeling trapped in the relationship she had. She seemed desperate to go with Bill, but he felt constrained to not spend any more time with her. He followed them for a while and then gave his excuses, desperate to climb the several smaller peaks to get to the top. Chapter 7: The Gods of the Old Land. Archie said, "Bill, I am going to take some pictures and speak with these 2. I will be back in an hour or so and we will descend together, have some supper and here wrap up in this." "Okay," Archie said, "I need a rest anyway." Archie reached into his pocket to get some snacks and felt the letter and envelope in his pocket. He suddenly realized that there was a small metal carved plate inside. He studied it, and the engravings, ornate and Celtic in origin, revealed a dragon and 3 girls, and ornate arrows pointed to 4 holes. Yet another puzzle, Archie thought, again flipping it like a coin. What am I supposed to do with that? As he tossed it, the light shone through the holes, and it gave him an idea. After a long and arduous climb, Archie reached the rocky cairn, and after surveying the valleys, lochs, and the sea, he surveyed the beauty from the peak of the mountain. The climb had been a technically tricky one, but now on the peak, he had sat down and eaten a cereal bar he had brought and had a drink of water. He started to rest as he did, so the sun beat down and he fell into a slow trance-like sleep. "Archie, Archie, Archie," he hears the voice call. "You made it. You made it, son. The medallion's the key. Look upon your realm and see the location of the hidden treasure, but first you must ask the gods for permission to take it." "How do I do that?" Archie replied. "Call on Beira, the Queen of Winter, the Hag, and the Kelpies, Seanade, likes ale, and the fairies and the Real Arthur, King of Camelon, and recite the word before the Kelpies' word on the pendant. The memories should come back in this place. Remember. Remember." Archie's daze removed itself. He stood up, recited the names, before he forgot them, and somehow read the words written on the medallion. First is the word, then the action, then the fight, then the gift. After you see it, you serve, after you serve, you lift. See for the beauty and serve the good. Call on the gods above for the final test. But remember, you try the gods, so you must be at your best. If you do not, it may be your final rest. Archie suddenly felt great regret at the words. Could he play Auntie Jenny's game? Suddenly there was a sound as the banging of a great drum, and the dark clouds scrolled shut. There was a great shower filling a divot on the mountain's peak with water. Then a flurry of snow, a table and 4 great chairs and a round table appeared next, the chair more like an ancient stone throne. A tree sprouted from the ground and a flurry of tiny flying creatures appeared. "Who are you? How dare you disturb the rulers of the ancient kingdom? Speak your name or be destroyed." Archie was about to say Ben McDowell, but then he stopped himself and began saying, "I am Archie MacDonald. I am a wounded soul who has just found out that I am the son of Alex MacDonald, the current clan chief and rightful ruler of this land. He has told me that I have a score to settle with you. I am a fair and just man, but my clan's blood you took and a debt you now owe. Pay me the price. I know that the gods are just and fair. Give me what my father looks for, and we can leave each other then in peace." Chapter 8: Let not earth cover their blood. "Who are you to tell me what to do?" said Beira. "I am as old as the earth itself. Beira, have you forgotten the ancient law, said Arthur. Remember Job. Let not earth cover my blood. This was based on the magic that created us, Beira. Let not your words condemn us all, for the girls were not buried, they were taken away unjustly. Seanade put his hand on his brow and said, bring me my ale, I have a decision to make. The Kelpies and the fairies shuddered in fear that they had torn the fabric that had created them and began to chatter in the other ears, persuading them to agree to pay the debt, but the hag stood up and called with the great cry, Targ Annuas. The heavens opened and the three sisters descended from above. The hag told poor Archie that she had taken them out of love. They had lost their family and seen such terrors that the mother of creation had seen a need. She had noticed them lonely and with none to feed their soul and none to make them whole. The clever hag had thought that she was a victor, and then Archie pulled out the medallion. The Kelpies screeched in regret, for they recognized the trinket as a past debt. Archie held it up and the sun shone, though, a spot touching each of the Kelpies in turn, searing their heart until they cried, we will pay the debt, we will give the clan MacDonald what they have lost, the children and the relic that you seek. Look to the north and it will tell you where to go. Chapter 9. Like a snake, but deeper than the mountains. The fairies, who were dressed in bright shining armor, both male and female, whispered in each other's ears, and 4 flew over to the medal, turning it 90 degrees and glowing like a star, projecting a bright beam through the 4 holes. 3 fell on the summits of the mountainous projections to the north, and the other fell near a waterfall in the hidden valley where the MacDonalds had hidden many a hairy beast from their enemies. Seanade rose up and declared, Clan Lord, you have forgotten the courtesy given me on the Isles of the Sea. Give unto me that which is mine, or I shall bring the storms to bring you back to the ground with humility in your stride. Archie shuddered at the trembling air, a thunder, then he recalled the story of the Isles and said, Seanade, I give thee this cup of ale, hoping that thou wilt be so good as to fertilize my works and enrich the ground as I work. He reached into his rucksack left with Bill's secret stash, where he had a small flask, and threw it over his shoulder to the driven wind. Seanade raised his hand and sucked the poisoned vapors into his breast and cried with a chuckle, I have been duly paid, go thy way. Wait, said Beira, if you answer a riddle I will return the girls again to mortality, but if you fail, I will inflict a penalty. A riddle, said Archie. What is like a snake, but deeper than the mountains and older than the hills, it's solitary and green and barely seen, drinks from the black waters, but if you miss the answer to it might be ready to eat you. Archie thought for a moment, expecting something related to the hills. He thought of the adder, but the black waters and eating me. There is only one thing in Scotland that lives in the black waters and large enough to eat me, if you believe the tourist signs. Nessie, he thought, but I am too far from Loch Ness to be eaten. But it was worth a try. Loch Ness's spirit. He said Nessie herself. Indeed, a roar declared a slithering shape broke the ridge and stood before him. Chapter 10. Who will oppose? You have answered correct. I am hungry today, Beira, what have you brought me? 3 children or a prince with a desire for vengeance? Beira said. The children you have promised to the prince, and the prince you have promised deliverance, Beira. Depart from me, Beira, before I eat you. The Kelpies have promised the prince deliverance, and Arthur desires to appease. Shall I eat or shall I please? Archie pulled a fish. Bill had a hankering for fishing and took any opportunity to cook one in the wild, from his rucksack, and threw it to Nessie, who gladly ate. I guess that I will indeed be late for my sleep as I go hunting in the loch. Archie, this is why the tourists do not see me too oft. As I sleep in over the hill in a loch near a distant croft, where the witch watches over me. Tell no one or you will be my next dinner, for I can travel land and sea, loch and mountain top. I rule over the water, and I sit in council with the other gods. Follow the fairies to the pools on the top of the mountain to claim the Stone of Hope. This will help you to fix the problems you have faced and to provide for the girls who deserve a loving home. Do you think that hope can fill your life? Do you believe? Go to the waterfall and thrust in your hand and bring it out. The relic containing the stone of great power. This we give you. Scotland needs a leader, it needs hope. Will you be that man? Wait, Archie, Arthur said. Take this. He reached out and pulled out a quill, golden and magical in appearance. It shone like the sun at noonday. He placed it in a box and passed it to Arthur. For you, Archie, for your story of hope. Touch their hearts and it will be all you need to do. For the Scots are a bold nation with no fear of speaking their mind, explorers of the heart and ready to follow once freed from the ale. No offence, Sounade. None taken. Smiled Sounade. Beira, you have care for the girls this long. Can you watch them one more day and I will return them to their blood? Pleaded Archie. I will, Nessie has spoken, who will oppose? Replied Beira. Chapter 11, Why am I here? Archie gave a bow and started on his journey to the lower peak. As he did so he noticed a glint of light on the lower vantage point. He headed towards the light. Archie, where have you been? Said a voice in the distance. I have been looking for ages for you. Come, let us take the hidden valley. The way was easier, but the night was closing in, the moon now showing, made it a treacherous climb down the hill but short into a flat then rocky path. Archie pulled out a torch and then kept well clear of some deep gullies. He started to come to the center where a dead tree stood projecting its arms like it was reaching to the gods. He notices one of the fairies he had seen hide behind. Down a rocky and sandy path he carefully trod until he reached a small pool and a small waterfall. Again, he saw a fairy go somewhere behind the water trickling over a rock into a small pool. Bill, wait here, I have something I have to do, said Archie. But Archie, Bill replied. Trust me, Bill, I'll be back shortly. Rest for a little by that tree. Okay, but just a little while. Behind the water he sensed an opening and then he prodded with a stick to see what was behind. Indeed, it was vacant and large enough to crawl through. He donned his rain jacket and his waterproof trousers and said to himself, noting ventured, nothing gained. He felt a slight trickle of freezing cold water somehow penetrate his protective barrier coating, then he let go of the fear and released a run of adrenaline, forcing himself farther up the cavern. Inside there must have been a barrier impervious to water above, as the cavern facing downward was free of water and widening and gradually descending downward. The cavern walls lined with cut stone, and it widened out into a tall cavern, its roof spiraling upward with scared walls making patterns only a god could make, lit only by the light coming through the opening through the water. Boulders lined the floor as if over the years they had become dislodged through the earth's quakes. Small, rounded domes sat on the floors where drips had made their way through the roof, depositing minerals and forming holes at their center. The ceilings were arrayed with teeth formed from the same dripping. Eerie pools also formed in the floors, staggered and flowing toward small furrows carrying water. Further down the cave the walls glowed blue, from an unknown source, with fingers reaching up from the ground eerily. The walls looked as though they were breathing with gills formed of the same calcite. He was curious how this cavern had not been documented, but I guess there was no shortage of rain and snow at the top of the mountains, and the frequency of travelers must have reduced the possibility too. He called out, "Father, I think you were right," and listened to the chorus reverberate around him. Up above, light filled the cave through a curiously large white quartz crystal stone in the ceiling above, diffusing around a magical white crystal-filled cave with 12 stones sitting in a circle, and in the center was a large stone box. Just as he approached, he heard a voice call to him and a dark apparition appeared in front of him with dark red eyes. He seemed to resemble the man who had dropped of the letter to him earlier on his quest. "Take it, it is the key to great power, beyond your mortal understanding. With it you can rule this nation and win the heart of anyone you desire. People will look upon your glory and tremble. They will have to love you. With it you can rule the world." Then another voice dismissed and appeared, a woman in white clothed as a princess, and in bright glory she stared and looked right through Archie's heart. "Is that what you want? To rule in fear, or do you want to earn that respect? Touch the heart of the nation and live by the knightly code? Why do you desire the key? Who are you really? Why are you here?" Archie thought of the last few days. Why was he here? He wanted to know who he was, what his path was, and why he had been chosen. He wanted answers. That's it, he wanted the key to knowledge, not power. "I'm here to discover who I am, why Clan MacDonald sent me to this place, and what I must do to get this knowledge and to please my father and to bring my family peace and justice and for the girl I love. Is this a test? What must I do to obtain this knowledge?" The white figure smiled and dismissed the dark. "You have passed, your quest for knowledge has opened the lid, and the one who desires power first is the dangerous seeker." The white woman continued to observe though. The stone chest was covered in dust, but when he tried to blow it away it stuck fast. He tried to move the lid, but it would not move. He looked at the woman in white who said it could be moved and that it was as light as a feather. She then smiled and departed. Archie pulled out the quill from his bag, and as he moved it across the stone lid the dust flew away and he saw the detail of the lid that was ornately carved with knights, Kelpies, fairies, and other mystical figures, and a key carved in the center but with the handle and shaft of a sword. There was a hole in the middle about the same diameter as the quill. He placed the non-flight end into the hole and there was a release of air and a clicking sound. Archie moved slowly over to the stone chest and slid of the lid removed the quill. It clattered to the ground with a great thud in the sand that lay around the chest. Inside, Archie looked at 3 stones surrounding a large carved stone. To the side was a great sword with the words, "Sil, person or thing that is the source of hope." Archie gripped the handle and the word glowed. He felt a rush of energy touch every cell of his body. He lowered the sword and touched the great stone. A great light filled his vision and transported him to a new place he had never been. A waterfall deeper in the mountains, magical and as beautiful as any he had seen. Then the vision ended. He felt joy and hope. He placed the other stones in his backpack and moved towards the entrance of the cave. Just then 2 figures appeared in the background. Archie said the man he recognized from the journey up the mountains said, "We will take that." "No," said Susan. "Archie, watch out," she screamed. As he raised his hand with a Heckler and Koch VP9 handgun to the square. Just then a dark figure appeared behind them. Eyes glowing red, the man didn't understand the change in Archie's body language. He said, "Don't move and throw me the sword." Archie looked at the dark spirit who was waiting for some sort of a cue from Archie. Archie lowered the sword and put up his thumb, so as to say yes, okay. At which point the dark spirit smiled a wicked smile and entered the man, writhing him in convulsions and making him drop the gun. The woman dropped the gun also at this point, having only noticed the spirit at the point of attack as he had come from behind them both. She screamed and ran towards the door. The man fell dead, or paralyzed, his eyes wide open. At that moment, Bill advanced into the cave. Archie signaled no to the spirit, and he retreated with a disappointed look. Archie rushed towards Bill, his fingers touching the stone again. He made his way out of the cavern. He raised his voice and said, "I'm ready for the girls, Beira." "What do you mean, Archie?" Bill queried. Chapter 12, Hope Opens Doors. Now free to explore the cave further, Archie took Bill to the side of the cavern where another door appeared. He inserted the sword into the slot in the door, and it opened to a wide cavern with a pool full of fairies playing, dancing, and splashing in the water, busy making items and singing a joyful song. The beautiful scene, complete with majestic falls, beckoned to them to step across the stones to the waterfall. As he touched it, he did not feel wet. It was as if his fingers tingled. "Forward or back?" the one little plump fairy asked. "Back," he said. "Wish it and it will be so." He stepped through only to see the same chamber ornately laden with timber carvings and fairies who seemed surprised at his arrival. "State your names," the leader said. "Archie of the clan MacDonald, and Bill," he said. He looked up and he saw his father holding the girls tightly, Beira smiling and the Kelpies and Nessie dancing in the pool. Alexander greeted his son for the first time since he was born, hugged him so hard that Archie could barely breathe and told him of his lineage and his family. The girls smiled and hugged him too. He met other older members of his family and the leaders in times past. Archie directed the girls to Bill. "Bill, you always wanted daughters, right? You must go now. You have new family to care for. Take them, and the girls know who that lady is." "Bill." "Must I go?" Archie said. "Yes, but when you are ready, and I love you, you can always return. Just remember the doorway opens both ways for the living and the magical." Chapter 13, Through the Waterfall. Archie, after his visit, smiled at his kin, then held each girl's hands and detailed the kindness of Bill and their task to help him, exited the doorway, withdrew the sword, and sealed the chest. Bill led the girls through the water and back into the hidden valley down the steep path and defended by torchlight down the valley and steep stones path, reaching his car, and they kept Bill company whilst driving home. The girls smiled and hugged him in the morning, walked towards the car chatting with Archie and Bill the whole way. "We know who the girl is you are searching for, Archie, too. We will help you with that." "The sword?" The stone the angels and the gods of Scotland looked upon the scenes with nothing but delight in their hearts, but the dark spirit, glared, talked to another and looked on the scene with disgust, but that is a different story altogether. Archie excitedly knew that he would no doubt need to visit the waterfall again. Chapter 14, The Hidden Valley. Archie woke up early the next morning, the excitement of the previous day's adventure still fresh in his mind. He knew he had to return to the waterfall as he felt there were more secrets hidden within the glen. Bill and the girls were already up, preparing breakfast and discussing their plans for the day. "Archie, are you ready for another adventure?" Bill asked, a twinkle in his eye. "Absolutely," Archie replied, his heart racing with anticipation. "I feel like there's so much more to discover." After a hearty breakfast, they packed their bags and set off towards the hidden valley once again. The girls, now fully aware of their lineage and the magical world they were part of, were eager to help Archie in his quest. The girls had distinct personalities that complemented each other perfectly. Fiona, the eldest, was brave and adventurous, always ready to take on any challenge. Isla, the middle child, was thoughtful and wise, often providing valuable insights and solutions. Ailey, the youngest, was curious and imaginative, with a knack for finding hidden paths and secrets. As they reached the waterfall, Archie felt a sense of familiarity and purpose. He knew that this time, he had to delve deeper into the mysteries of the glen. He approached the waterfall and, Ailey stated, "I feel it's here somewhere, Archie." "Here it is, the waterfall." Thankfully they had brought rain jackets this time as they maneuvered through the dark and magical cave. Inside, the cavern seemed even more magical than before. The blue glow from the walls illuminated their path, and the air was filled with a sense of ancient power. Archie led the way, his heart pounding with excitement. As they reached the stone chest, Archie felt a surge of energy. He knew that the key to unlocking more secrets lay within the chest. He carefully placed the quill into the hole and opened the lid. Inside, he found a map, intricately detailed with markings and symbols. "This map will guide us to the next part of our journey," Archie said, showing it to Bill and the girls. "We need to follow the path and uncover the relics hidden within the glen." With the map safely stowed in a plastic wrap, they set off on their new adventure along a new path to the left of the cavern. The path led them through treacherous terrain, but their determination and courage kept them going. Along the way, they crossed a rope bridge, somehow still strong after an initial test of weight, followed a steep upward climb which narrowed each obstacle they initially thought to go alone, but Bill convinced them that teamwork and a rope was the best option. As they reached the final destination marked on the map, they found themselves standing before a majestic stone archway. The archway was adorned with ancient carvings and symbols, and it seemed to radiate an almost tangible energy. "This is it," Archie said, his voice filled with awe. "This is the entrance to the realm of the ancient gods." They stepped through the archway and found themselves in a breathtaking landscape, filled with lush greenery, sparkling waterfalls, and towering mountains. The air was filled with the sound of birdsong and the scent of wildflowers. As they explored the realm, they encountered mischievous fairies and kelpies, each offering either leading them astray or giving them guidance and wisdom. Archie felt a deep connection to the land and its inhabitants, and he felt that now that he knew about this place, he needed to protect and preserve the magical world. Their journey led them to a hidden temple, where they found the relics they had been searching for. Archie pondered the significance of the ancient artifacts he had encountered. The first relic was an intricately carved medallion, adorned with Celtic designs and symbols of dragons and 3 maidens. The medallion had 4 holes, each aligned with a specific direction, and seemed to hold a mysterious power. The second relic was the large, ornate sword with the word "Sil" engraved on its blade, meaning person or thing that is the source of hope. The sword emitted a faint glow, hinting at its magical properties. Each of these relics must have returned to this place following his first adventure. The third relic was a glowing crystal, said to hold the key to unlocking the full potential of the glen. Each item was imbued with ancient power, connecting Archie to the mystical past of Scotland and the legacy of his ancestors, and they held the key to unlocking the full potential of the glen. With the relics in hand, they returned to the waterfall and placed them within the stone chest. As they did so, the cavern was filled with a brilliant light, and the ancient gods appeared before them. "Archie, you have proven yourself worthy," Beira said, her voice echoing through the cavern. You have shown courage, wisdom, and compassion. The glen is now yours to protect and preserve. We might come and visit you again as you have more to do here. Be weary of that spirit whom once you commanded, he has a new master now. Archie felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He knew that his journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. But the statement of the gods about that spirit worried him. He remembered how quickly he had dispatched his previous enemies. With the support of Bill and the girls, he knew that he could fulfill his destiny and bring hope to the land. Chapter 15: Nessie's Secret. As Archie, Bill, and the girls continued their journey, they encountered Nessie once more. This time, Nessie had a secret to share. She led them to a hidden cave beneath the loch, where they discovered an ancient library filled with scrolls and books detailing the history of the glen and its magical inhabitants. Nessie, what is this place? Archie asked, his voice filled with wonder. This is the library of the ancients, Nessie replied. It contains the knowledge and wisdom of our ancestors. Here, you will find the answers to many of your questions. Archie and the girls eagerly explored the library, uncovering secrets about their lineage and the magical world they were part of. They learned about the ancient gods, the fairies, and the Kelpies, and discovered the true extent of their powers. As they delved deeper into the library, they found a hidden chamber containing a powerful artifact. The artifact, a glowing crystal, was said to hold the key to unlocking the full potential of the glen. This crystal is the key to our future, Nessie said. With its power, you can protect and preserve this magical world. Archie carefully took the crystal and placed it in his bag. He knew that their journey was far from over, but with the knowledge and power they had gained, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Remember, Archie, blood or the offering of it is the greatest power one has over evil. Chapter 16: The Final Battle. The final battle was about to begin as Archie, Bill, and the girls made their way to the hidden valley, guided by the ancient gods. The air was thick with tension, and the atmosphere crackled with energy. They knew that they were about to face their greatest challenge yet. As they approached the hidden valley, they saw a dark figure standing at the entrance. It was the dark spirit that had appeared before Archie in the cave. Its eyes glowed red, and it radiated an aura of malevolence. Archie, you have come far, but your journey ends here, the dark spirit hissed. You will not take the relics from this place. They belong to me. Archie stood his ground, gripping the sword tightly. I will not let you take what is rightfully ours, he declared. We will protect the glen and its magic. The dark spirit laughed, a chilling sound that echoed through the valley. You are brave, but bravery alone will not save you. Prepare to face your doom. With a wave of its hand, the dark spirit summoned a horde of shadowy creatures. They emerged from the darkness, their eyes glowing with malice. Archie, Bill, and the girls readied themselves for battle. The fight was fierce and relentless. Archie swung his sword with precision, cutting through the shadowy creatures with ease. Bill fought valiantly, using his strength and skill to fend off the attackers. The girls, Fiona, Isla, and Ailey, used their unique abilities to support the group, casting spells and using their agility to outmaneuver the enemy. As the battle raged on, the dark spirit grew more desperate. It unleashed powerful blasts of dark energy, trying to overwhelm Archie and his companions. But they stood firm, their determination unwavering. Archie, we need to focus our energy on the dark spirit, Fiona shouted. It's the source of their power. Archie nodded, understanding the urgency. Bill, girls, let's concentrate our attacks on the dark spirit. We can defeat it together. With renewed determination, they turned their attention to the dark spirit. Archie charged forward, his sword glowing with a brilliant light. He struck the dark spirit with all his might, the blade cutting through its dark aura. The dark spirit screamed in agony, its form flickering and weakening. Bill and the girls joined the attack, their combined efforts overwhelming the dark spirit. With one final, powerful strike, Archie drove the sword into the heart of the dark spirit. The dark spirit let out a final, anguished cry before disintegrating into a cloud of dark energy. The shadowy creatures vanished, and the valley was filled with a sense of peace and tranquility. Archie, Bill, And the girls stood victorious, their hearts filled with relief and triumph. They had faced their greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever. A rumbling under the ground begins and cracks begin to form, and a wooden box rises from the floor and opens. With the new crystal in hand, Archie, Bill, and the girls returned to the waterfall. As they placed the crystal within the stone chest, the cavern was filled with a brilliant light. Again the ancient gods appeared before them, their presence even more powerful than before. "Archie, you have proven yourself worthy again," Beira said, her voice echoing through the cavern. "You have shown courage, wisdom, and compassion. The glen is again yours to protect and preserve." Archie felt a sense of pride and responsibility. He knew that his journey was far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the support of Bill and the girls, he knew that he could fulfill his destiny and bring hope to the land. As they left the cavern, Archie felt a deep connection to the glen and its inhabitants. He knew that he was destined to protect and preserve this magical world, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 17, The Legacy continues. Archie, Bill, and the girls returned to their village, their hearts filled with hope and determination. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the support of the ancient gods and the magical creatures of the glen, they knew that they could protect and preserve this magical world. As they settled back into their daily lives, Archie felt a deep connection to the glen and its inhabitants. He knew that he was destined to protect and preserve this magical world, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the support of Bill and the girls, Archie knew that he could fulfill his destiny and bring hope to the land. Together, they would protect and preserve the glen, ensuring that its magic would endure for generations to come. Chapter 18, Bill's Revelation. As Archie, Bill, and the girls continued their journey, Bill began to reflect on his own past and the challenges he had faced. He had always been a supportive uncle to Archie, but he had his own demons to confront. Bill's recent divorce had left him feeling lost and uncertain about his future. One evening, as they sat around the campfire, Bill decided to open up to Archie and the girls. "You know, Archie, I've been thinking a lot about my life lately," Bill began, his voice filled with emotion. "I've made some mistakes, and I've had my share of regrets. But being here with you, on this incredible journey, has given me a new sense of purpose." Archie listened intently, sensing the depth of Bill's feelings. "What do you mean, Uncle Bill?" he asked gently. "I mean that I want to be more than just your uncle," Bill replied. "I want to be someone you can rely on, someone who can help you navigate the challenges ahead. And I want to find my own path, too. This journey has shown me that there's still so much to discover, both about the world and about myself." The girls, who had grown fond of Bill, nodded in agreement. "We believe in you, Bill," Fiona said. "You've been there for us, and we'll be there for you." Bill smiled, feeling a sense of hope and determination. "Thank you," he said. "I promise to do my best for all of you." Chapter 19, Bill's Redemption. As their journey continued, Bill found himself taking on a more active role in their adventures. He became a source of strength and guidance for Archie and the girls, helping them overcome obstacles and navigate the challenges they faced. One day, as they explored a dense forest, they encountered a group of hostile creatures blocking their path. Bill stepped forward, his eyes filled with determination. "Stay behind me," he instructed, his voice steady and confident. With a combination of skill and bravery, Bill managed to fend off the creatures, ensuring the safety of the group. Archie and the girls watched in awe, realizing just how much Bill had grown and changed. "Uncle Bill, that was incredible," Archie exclaimed. "You were amazing." Bill smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "Thank you, Archie," he said. "I couldn't have done it without all of you. We're a team, and together, we can face anything." Chapter 20, Bill's Legacy. As their journey ended, Bill reflected on the incredible experiences they had shared. He had found a new sense of purpose and had formed deep bonds with Archie and the girls. He knew that their adventures were far from over, but he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. "Archie, I want you to know how proud I am of you," Bill said one evening as they sat by the campfire. "You've grown into a remarkable young man, and I know you'll achieve great things." Archie smiled, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "Thank you, Uncle Bill," he replied. "I couldn't have done it without you." Bill nodded, feeling a sense of fulfillment. "And remember, no matter what happens, we'll always be a family. We'll always have each other's backs." As they looked up at the stars, Archie, Bill, and the girls knew that their journey was just beginning. Together, they would continue to explore the magical world of the Glen, uncovering its secrets and protecting its wonders for generations to come. Chapter 21: The Girls' Quest. As Archie, Bill, and the girls continued their journey, the girls began to reflect on their own past and the challenges they had faced. They had always been supportive of Archie, but they had their own demons to confront. The girls' recent discovery of their lineage had left them feeling lost and uncertain about their future. One evening, as they sat around the campfire, the girls decided to open up to Archie and Bill. "You know, Archie, we've been thinking a lot about our lives lately," Fiona began, her voice filled with emotion. "We've lost a lot of years, and we've had our share of regrets. But being here with you, on this incredible journey, has given us a new sense of purpose." Archie listened intently, sensing the depth of the girls' feelings. "What do you mean?" he asked gently. "We mean that we want to be more like family," Isla replied. "We want to be those people you can trust. And we want to find our own path, too. This journey has shown us that there's still so much to discover, both about the world and about ourselves." Bill, who had grown fond of the girls, nodded in agreement. "We believe in you," he said. "You've been there for us, and we'll be there for you." The girls smiled, feeling a sense of hope and determination. "Thank you," they said. "We promise to do our best for all of you." Just at that moment Susan entered. "Fiona said you came. I found her on Facebook, Bill. She's actually lovely. That jerk just got her caught up in the wrong things. Trust me, she's worth it." "Archie," Ailey said. "You know we're not related, right?" she said with a wink. Archie and Bill looked a little sheepish, but they smiled and hoped for the future. Archie had a feeling that Fiona and Isla still had an adventure left in them. But for Archie and Bill, their story was now a different one, no longer searching every horizon, safely settled in the comfort and new journey the gods of the old world had blessed them with. Chapter 22: They All Live Happily. Years later, Archie, Bill, the girls, Ailey, and Susan continued to meet periodically to explore the magical world of the Glen, uncovering its secrets and protecting its wonders. For the two couples, their bond grew stronger with each passing day, and they knew that they were destined to be together. The Glen flourished under the periodic care, and its magic endured for generations to come. The ancient gods watched over them, guiding them and offering their wisdom and support. Archie and Ailey built a life filled with love and adventure, exploring the Glen and sharing their dreams for the future. Their courtship was a journey of discovery and mutual respect. Ailia's curiosity and imagination complemented Archie's bravery and determination. Together, they uncovered hidden paths and secrets within the Glen, each adventure bringing them closer together. They found joy in the simple moments, like watching the sunset over the mountains or sharing stories by the campfire. Bill and Susan found solace in each other's company, supporting each other through the challenges they faced and building a life filled with love and hope. Susan's initial encounter with Bill had been marked by a sense of longing and a desire for change. As they spent more time together, they discovered a deep connection and understanding. Susan's adventurous spirit matched Bill's strength and resilience. They enjoyed long walks through the Glen, sharing their thoughts and dreams. Susan's laughter and Bill's steady presence created a harmonious balance in their relationship. The girls grew into strong and wise women, each finding their own path and contributing to the preservation of the Glen's magic. They knew that their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they protected and preserved the Glen, ensuring that its magic would endure for generations to come. Their legacy continued, and the Glen remained a place of wonder and beauty, filled with the magic of the ancient gods and the love of those who cared for it. One day they saw dark eyes appearing from behind the waterfall and they feared for what adventure they might now be called to go on, but that's another story entirely. Chapter 23: The Hidden Realm. As Archie's daughters Corra, Linn and Bonnington stepped bravely past the disappearing spirit and passed through the waterfall and then through the gate to the Hidden Realm, They were immediately struck by the beauty and wonder of their surroundings. The forest they found themselves in was unlike any they had ever seen. The trees were tall and majestic, their leaves shimmering with a faint, otherworldly glow. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of birds singing created a harmonious symphony. The forest floor was carpeted with soft, emerald-green moss that felt like walking on a plush carpet. Delicate, colorful flowers dotted the landscape, their petals opening and closing as if in response to the children's presence. The sunlight filtered through the canopy above, casting dappled patterns of light and shadow on the ground. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they came across a sparkling stream that wound its way through the trees. The water was crystal clear, and they could see fish swimming gracefully beneath the surface. The stream was lined with smooth, polished stones that glistened in the sunlight. Chapter 24: The Oak. In the center of the forest, they discovered a clearing where a mighty oak tree stood. Its branches stretched high into the sky, and its roots were firmly planted in the ground, strong and stable. The tree's bark was rough and textured, and it exuded an aura of ancient wisdom. The children could sense that this tree was special, and they approached it with a sense of awe, and as they looked on it, music began to play, and the following song began to be sung by the kind ones of the fairies.
The wise old oak, it stands with grace, looking at the rock in a quiet place, a story told by lines and seams, content with the world in its silent dreams. Oh, the oak, the mighty oak, with limbs so strong and heart that spoke in whispers soft to winds of old, a life of wisdom to unfold. Generations rested on its sprawling base, faces smiling, joy they chase. Squirrels danced and birds found haven in branches reaching towards the craven. Oh, the oak, the mighty oak, with limbs so strong and heart that spoke in whispers soft to winds of old, a life of wisdom to unfold. Generations rested on its sprawling base, faces smiling, joy they chased. Squirrels danced and birds found haven in branches reaching towards the craven. Oh, the oak, the mighty oak,
The children watched in amazement as a door appeared in the trunk of the tree. With a sense of wonder, they opened the door and stepped inside. Inside the tree, they found a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. The walls were lined with glowing crystals, casting a warm light on the path ahead. The crystals emitted a gentle hum, creating a soothing and calming atmosphere. The children descended the staircase, their hearts pounding with excitement. At the bottom of the staircase, they found themselves in a large, underground chamber. The walls were covered in ancient carvings depicting scenes of mythical creatures and legendary heroes. In the center of the room was a pedestal with a glowing orb. The orb pulsed with a soft, radiant light, and the children could feel its energy resonating with their own. With a sense of reverence, they reached out and touched the orb. In an instant, they were transported to another place with magic and wonder. The landscape was a breathtaking tapestry of vibrant colors and fantastical creatures. They saw unicorns grazing in meadows, dragons soaring through the sky, and fairies flitting about, leaving trails of sparkling dust in their wake. The hidden realm was a place where the impossible became possible, and the children knew that their adventure had only just begun. They felt a sense of excitement and anticipation, eager to explore this magical world and uncover its secrets. Chapter 25: The River and the Storm. They came to a river with 2 waterfalls and pools, and a fairy began to sing the following song about 2 sisters.
Oh, Corra, Linn, where do I begin? Carved from glacial water, you glide over your basin. How oft have the poets come to see thee? Yet on my wanderings I passed by. I looked upon thy sister as though she was a bride, and I had missed her. Bonnington, her name much less known, still has power today. Many have perhaps passed by her way, not noticing her significance. No one can compare to Wordsworth, yet it seemed as though from heaven a beam pieced the undergrowth and pointed to your weary tears. Yes, now my heart started to race over the years. Mighty oaks have framed the view of both daughters flow. Watching over couples I saw you, and she did too. But these 2 daughters retreat slowly, sinking back to Mother Earth. I wonder if they know their worth. What was it that hurt you? Why must you go? Please, daughter, tell me. I really must know, for the world comes to see your flows. They come to see her, and they come to see you too. Is it a lack of fame that makes you sad? What must I do to make you glad? Yet from those tears your sister is formed. From those pools she gets vigor, and from you she has your stage. Without you, could she have performed? Every often is made by his peers. Yes, I have seen this over the years. Some sit at the front, others at the back. But do they lack? No, for the lay a foundation for others to build. So beautiful, Bonnington, sit by my side and let me rest my feet in your water. For I find you the most beautiful daughter, humble, sublime, pioneering,
The sisters felt the power of these words and wondered at how the realm seemed to know them. They continued to explore the world, but as they did, they started to notice strange anomalies. As though this perfect world was glitching, they wondered at these things, the bushes that would switch between being fresh and green, to being brown and withered. They would see animals that would appear alive then, sick and infirm. What could be happening to this place? Some of the words they were hearing seemed to be glitching too. As Bonnington thought about this, a memory came to her mind of her father and mother talking about something they had heard one of the fairies say. One day your daughters will need to face the spirit who was under your command, teach them well or the hidden realm will fall. What could this mean? Bonnington thought. As she spoke, the Kelpies came into view singing a sad song.
Why do the good fall with the angels? Why does darkness hide in light? Prayers echo in the silence, yet the world is filled with plight. Where's the justice in the sky? In the shadows of the night, we cry out for an answer, but hope fades from our sight. Promises like fragile flowers, blown away by raging storms. In faith we sought some shelter, but we feel no soothing warmth. Where's the justice in the sky? In the shadows of the night, we cry out for an answer, but hope fades from our sight. Promises like fragile flowers, blown away by raging storms. In faith we sought some shelter, but we feel no soothing warmth. Where's the justice in the sky? In the shadows of the night, we cry out for an answer, but hope fades from our sight.
Bonnington wondered, I thought the Kelpies were one of the gods of Scotland. Could there be a greater power or powers? What had caused these great beings to feel so powerless? As she pondered again on these things, they remembered a story that Ailey told them about meeting with Arthur and the scrolls he had shown them. Could the Great Spirit really have lost his way? Or the vengeful brother really deceived so many? Chapter 26, Silent Strength. Her thoughts were brought back to a song her father used to sing to her called Silent Strength.
Whispers in the night, they call to me. In the silence I find what I can't see. A voice urging me to rise, to speak my truth. Yet I fear the world's scorn. Oh, where's my youth? But my heart still beats with courage inside. To love, to reach out, to never hide. This is the hour, this is my chance to break free from fear and take the dance. In this tin of memories, hiding pain and fear, the world drums its noise, yet still I hear the gentle whisper, teaching me to hold a hand to those in need, a spirit bold. But my heart still beats with courage inside. To love, to reach out, to never hide. This is the hour, this is my chance to break free from fear and take the dance. In this tin of memories, hiding pain and fear, the world drums its noise, yet still I hear the gentle whisper, teaching me to hold a hand to those in need, a spirit bold. But my heart still beats with courage inside. To love, to reach out, to never hide. This is the hour, this is my chance to break free from fear and take the dance. And take the dance. But my heart still beats with courage inside. To love, to reach out, to never hide. This is the hour, this is my chance to break free from fear and take the dance.
Bonnington saw her sister Corra Linn and ran over to her. She seemed to be withdrawn, sad or angry in some way. "What wrong, Corra Linn?" Bonnington asked. "I feel lonely," Corra Linn said. "Are you still sad from your experience with Stephen? You are so much better than that, Corra Linn." As she spoke these words, it was as if the hidden realm sky lit up with lightning, and Corra Linn and Bonnington were transported to a beach by the sea, and the birds began to sing the following song. "Oh, let me go."
The waves turn, flags dance with the wind. Dogs chase dreams, humans wish for the sun's warm grin. A lifeguard scans with a cup of hope in hand, while I'm lost in thoughts on this sandy land. Oh, let me go, cruel beast of the past. I've loved you deeply, how long will this last? With my heart and humor, I'll take a fresh start. Let me sail free, find peace in my heart. Troops of ducks waddle, like stories left untold, in the cafe shadows where memories unfold. Lost love weighs heavy, like stones on my chest, praying to the skies, longing for some rest. Courage won't come easy, I'll face the storm's roar. Oh, release my hand, let me love once more. Oh, let me go, cruel beast of the past. I've loved you deeply, how long will this last? With my heart and humor, I'll take a fresh start. Let me sail free, find peace in my heart. Courage won't come easy, I'll face the storm's roar. Oh, release my hand, let me love once more. Oh, let me go, cruel beast of the past. I've loved you deeply, how long will this last? With my heart and humor, I'll take a fresh start. Let me sail free, find peace in my heart. As the waves crash, I yearn for the light. Drunken sailor dreams, lost in the night. Children in peril, storms all around. Can't stay anchored, I'm longing to be found. So I call to the sea, with hope in my soul. Let the tides guide me, make me whole.
With a glimmer of hope in both their hearts, another song began to play. Breaking Through.
There's something in the way you stand there, hands folded, voice so soft and low. I've been wearing this old armor far too long, 'cause you don't seem to know. Your brown eyes find mine across the silence, each glance a gentle, patient pierce. Through steel I've worn like second skin, till armor starts to disappear. You're breaking through every wall I built to keep me safe. You're breaking through like a sea that splits the hardest clay. 'Cause an angel face that shows me grace in ways I never knew. I thought protection meant perfection, thought strength was staying stone. But here you are with soft percussion, making cracks in what I own. Your presence plants itself inside me, roots reaching past my guarded heart. What once was wound becomes beginning, armor falling, love can start. You're breaking through every wall I built to keep me safe. Breaking through like a seed that splits the hardest clay. Angel face that shows me grace in ways I never. Don't you see what you're doing to me? Don't you know how it feels when someone sees past the surface to something raw and real? broke right through, broke right through every wall I built to keep me safe. You broke right through, broke right through, like a sea that splits the hardest clay. An angel face that just shows in ways I always knew. Fine with you.
As the song began to end, they both viewed a distant shore or island, beautiful beyond description, and the birds began to sing again. Island of Dreams.
A new beginning, a distant shore, desiring adventure, craving more. A secret island, away from pain, where love awakens, breaking the chain. Take the path and hold my hand, walk with me onto the sand. Be my compass and my love, help me see the sky above. A partner beside, who shares my view. Life's not a game, it's a journey with you. Together we'll conquer oceans wide. With you, darling, nothing we hide. Take the path and hold my hand, walk with me onto the sand. Be my compass and my love, help me see the sky above. Take the path and hold my hand, walk with me onto the sand. Be my compass and my love, help me see the sky above. Partner beside, who shares my view. Life's not a game, it's a journey with you. Together we'll conquer oceans wide. With you, darling, nothing we hide. Take the path and hold my hand, walk with me onto the sand. Be my compass and my love, help me see the sky above.
These words sank deep within Corra Linn's heart, but the sadness remained. Lightning crashed again as she pondered her loss. Corra Linn had always been the kindest of the sisters, but her experience with Stephen had seemed to change her spirit in troublesome ways. Despite the temporary hope that filled her heart at this time, she was still lost in ways she had not known until this point. The kingdom had been in turmoil since and before their arrival. Somehow they were connected to this. Corra Linn's anger had cast a dark shadow on her, but could it have also cast a shadow over the land? Could it have caused the once vibrant fields to wither and the rivers to run dry? Her fury stemmed from a deep betrayal, and her heart had hardened, affecting everything around her. Bonnington, her loyal sister, watched in despair as the kingdom suffered. She thought that mischievous spirit might be using Corra Linn's connection and past on matriarchy of this land to manipulate it, and she was determined to save Corra from this fate. But how? The journey to this moment had been long and arduous. Corra Linn and Bonnington had ventured through the hidden valley, a place of mystical beauty and ancient secrets. The valley was framed by 3 volcanic peaks, with the highest, Bidean, standing tall and majestic. The path had led them through treacherous terrain, past sparkling streams and lush greenery, to the very heart of the kingdom. As they journeyed through a dense forest, the air grew thick with tension. The trees seemed to whisper warnings, and the shadows danced menacingly. Suddenly, a chilling wind swept through the forest, and the evil spirit appeared, its eyes glowing with malevolence. "Corra Linn," the spirit hissed, "I will kill your sister and I will bring this kingdom to its knees." Corra Linn's eyes flashed with rage, and the spirit grew stronger. Bonnington stepped forward, her voice steady. "Corra, don't listen to it. Your anger is giving it power. You must fight it." The spirit lunged at Bonnington, but she stood her ground, her determination unwavering. "I will not let you harm my sister," she declared. "Corra Linn, you must let go of your anger." The path led them to a treacherous mountain pass, where the wind howled and the rocks were slick with rain. As they climbed, the spirit appeared again, this time more powerful than before. It fed on Corra Linn's anger, growing larger and more menacing. "Corra Linn," the spirit taunted, "your anger is my strength. Embrace it, and we will rule this land together." Corra Linn's heart pounded with fury, and the spirit's power surged. Bonnington reached out, her voice filled with urgency. "Corra, you must resist. Your anger is destroying everything we hold dear." The spirit lashed out at Bonnington, but she dodged the attack, her resolve unbroken. "I will protect my sister, no matter the cost," she vowed. Their journey led them to the edge of the ancient waterfall, where the air was thick with the scent of blooming flowers and the distant hum of the forest. The golden sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, amber glow over the kingdom. The spirit appeared once more, its eyes burning with hatred. "Corra Linn," the spirit snarled, "you want this power, Corra Linn." Corra Linn's eyes shimmered with tears, but her resolve was unyielding. "I can't, Bonnington. The pain is too great. The evil spirit has taken hold of me. Leave this place, I beg you." As she spoke, she became enveloped by this dark force. Somehow the spirit whom her father had commanded was taking hold of her and she had no control. The tears streamed down her face, and on seeing this Bonnington cried out in agony, "Please, Father, help us." A voice pierced the cloud's daughter. "Don't you remember that there were 2 spirits? Male and female. Eloria, come forth." "Corra Linn," Bonnington whispered, her voice steady, "the kingdom's future rests in your hands. Your anger is destroying everything we hold dear. You must let go of this darkness, or it will destroy you and this world." Corra Linn's eyes shimmered with tears, but her resolve was unyielding. "I can't, Bonnington. The pain is too great. The evil spirit has taken hold of me." Bonnington placed a gentle hand on her sister's shoulder. "Sometimes, the greatest acts of love require the deepest sacrifices. I will confront the evil spirit and free you from its grasp. Remember that the greatest love a man or woman can have is to lay down his life for his friend or family." With a heavy heart, Bonnington raised her hand, and she stepped forward of the waterfall edge towards the open air above the bright glowing pool that was filled by the waterfall. As she did so, she began to fall. Her sister, on seeing this, was filled with emotion, of love supreme. The dark spirit writhed and wrestled and fled in fear of this supreme act of bravery and love. The waterfall roared louder, as if mourning the loss of its guardian. But before her body hit the rocks, a light appeared around Bonnington, brighter than the sun. And she rose and stretched out a chain that sprung from her arm and whipped it like a bull whip at the mischievous spirit. "Do not cover the blood, my dear friend," she said. "You work on my command now, and you will make my sister more beautiful than before. For eons they will come and see and remember her story framed in a waterfall, and they will admire her for evermore. And if one day someone comes to that place who descends from her, they will discover a place that connects to here, and you will teach them, and Eloria will watch you to make sure you're not getting ideas again." Corra Linn lay on the ground, more beautiful than ever, crying tears that seemed to flow forever, weeping over the mercy and kindness of her sister. She embraced Bonnington and they never parted again, flowing continually together until they reached that distant shore, and found the loves of their lives and hoped one day their story would continue once again in the hidden valley and the world beyond our own. The end.